Hey guys, Dr. Joe here with Spaulding Chiropractic. This is our continuation of our sciatica talk. From the previous video, we now have a better understanding of what sciatica is, and unfortunately many of us know what it feels like. So what can we do about it? Well, during the evaluation process, we use different movements and tests to determine what is irritating and what provides relief. Today we're going to perform a single leg raise test, and I'm going to take his involved leg. I'm going to raise that up, and I'm looking for pain around that 10 to 60 degree range. And then I'm going to test the uninvolved leg. And as I raise this up, again, I'm looking for pain around that 10 to 60 degree range, or maybe even a little bit further. If we have either pain along the involved leg or maybe even the good leg, when we raise that good leg, it's more indicative that there might be a disc issue going on. So after we perform the straight leg raise test, we can also perform what we call the slump test. So I'm going to ask the patient to put his hands behind his back and just kind of fold them together like that. I'm then going to ask him to kind of round his spine, slumping down his posture a little bit, bending a little bit more at his mid-back. And I may say, okay, we're going to put a little pressure on your shoulders, and then I want him to raise the involved leg. And in this situation, it's going to be his left leg. So I'm going to have him raise his leg as he brings his head down. And I may create a little bit more pressure there. Again, I'm looking for a pain response or any replication of his signs and symptoms. These tests, when positive, let us know we may be dealing with a spinal issue. If during the exam we notice signs of altered reflexes or maybe even muscle weakness, that may indicate a higher severity. If these tests don't exacerbate any signs and symptoms, then we can start investigating for a non-spinal issue. So we've now determined that we may be dealing with a non-spinal issue. So as we continue to evaluate the muscles of the gluteal and hip region, we start by palpating the gluteal musculature, looking for any indication of tenderness. I'm not going to do that today, but that's just something that we would get into. Signs like the Freiberg sign or the Fair sign may indicate that we may be dealing with a deep gluteal muscle syndrome. With the Freiberg sign, it's a pretty simple test. We can have the patient lie supine, legs straight, and I'm just going to forcefully rotate the leg and hip internally. And then I'm going to come back. And I may try to do the opposite side just to kind of compare and see what we have. I'm looking for any reproduction of pain in the gluteal region, indicating that the possibility of a deep gluteal syndrome may be present. So we did the Freiberg sign. Now we're going to go over the Fair sign. And we have the patient lying on their unaffected side. I'm going to take their leg. I'm going to flex their hip to 90 degrees. I'm going to flex the knee to 90 degrees. Keeping the pelvis stacked, I'm going to adduct that leg, and I'm going to apply an upward force to the shin, rotating the hip internally. The sign is present if the patient has pain in the gluteal space, again indicating a possible deep gluteal syndrome. You can try this at home. I'm going to have Aiden lay on his back here, so lay on your back. He's going to take the affected leg and he's going to bring it up towards his chest. And then he's going to take his hands and push his leg across his body. If he experiences any tenderness in the gluteal region, then it may be a positive sign that he has either a tightness or some type of deep gluteal syndrome. So just like in the last video, we understand the challenge people have when dealing with pain or injury. If you or someone you know are dealing with sciatica, please contact us at Spaulding Chiropractic. So again, just like in the last video, we understand the challenge people have when dealing with pain and or injury. If you or someone you know are dealing with sciatica, please contact us at Spaulding Chiropractic. As always, we look forward to becoming part of your healthcare team, and I ask that you stay tuned for follow-up videos on exercises that we can use to alleviate the symptoms and resist issues in the future. Thank you very much for your time, and keep moving.